Hey, everybody. Welcome to Talking Smack over mac and cheese. I'm Rob Nelson.
Hey,
Here's Judd
everybody. It's
Dunning.
Judd Dunning from the West Coast. We're doing West Coast, East Coast until a few days till Rob comes back. Thanks for coming again.
That's right. I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I'm in the hotbed, and it's hot here, and I'm on location. Judd's in the studio. I'm on location. We're talking smack, and today it's over tacos. And as you can see, palm trees behind me. Notice the palm trees. This is a live set. I've got real people walking around that I'm going to talk to in the middle of this thing, Judd.
Yeah, back to the glory days. Man on the street and in the studio here at BPN RNL. I'm so glad to be here again, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
It makes me hungry.
What are we talking about today, Judd?
This show makes me hungry.
Yeah, it does. I'm waiting for my taco to come in. Special delivery. I'm getting a special soft shell taco for tonight.
All right, so this is a politics and food show because what do you do in America? Like, what do we really do? We sit around and we talk at the dinner table, the lunch, maybe the breakfast table if you're passionate politicos about food and politics, right? So we're going to bring them together because food brings people together, and Rob Nelson loves to bring people together, obviously. That's our whole mission.
I do. I like being among the people. I love this. I'm going to work on not moving the phone too fast so you don't lose me if I bring people into the conversation. But I'm definitely happy to be on location. And what better time? Because, today, Judd, I know you want to get your taco up there, but I just want to say today is all about the election because we got probably one of the most consequential elections. Yeah, look, people say it's the most consequential election. I'm going to debate that. But everybody's, it's like the sequel's better than the original. It's like this is the one that matters, and they all matter. But anyway, I know it's the most consequential election. So what the heck? Let's talk about it. Over tacos.
According to Trump, he's the greatest president since Lincoln. So I would definitely say there's no lack of pride, personal pride in it. So it is the most consequential election of all time. I love Trump, but I gotta love how great he makes America great, but he thinks he's great.
No, he's the best. Greatest president ever. Most important election ever. Greatest election ever. Greatest
history
ever.
Yeah.
Greatest COVID disease ever.
Actually, not true. So, but as we both know, because our system rocks and it works and it continues to diametrically roll freedom. But all right. So listen, it's 1:30 in Los Angeles. It's 4:30. It's like early dinner out there. So if the seniors are watching, they're probably getting ready for Blue Plate, or they're going to follow Rob back in Orlando. So we're going to talk about this. So Rob and I, every week, we're talking about a different food. So we did mac and cheese. Our show's called Talking Smack over mac and cheese. But last week we did tacos. Last week we did hot dogs. Now we're doing
hot dogs, baby.
Now we're doing hot dog. It's election time. Now we're doing tacos. Here comes my lovely bride. She's bringing me an upgrade. She just took a street taco. I just want to talk about this. This is called street taco on your own style, right? So we go right down the street here on Venice and Mar Vista, and then I put a little avocado, make it a little healthier, a little vegan action here, a little cheese. I'll do the cheese. I'm not killing the cow by sucking off its teat. So vegan street tacos. That's my deal for today. It's hard to beat. I mean, we could go down so many routes, but get a good street taco, take it home, and juice it up. That's what the West Coast says. West Coast taco love.
Juddy, first of all, take a bite of that taco. Come on.
I know, I'm dying. I gotta eat, man.
Take a bite. Let me see. Is that a soft shell there? Is that soft shell?
Yeah, I got a little soft shell. Got the traditional black beans, right? A little cheese, a little chipotle, and then tapatio. Oh man, I'm hungry, bro.
Nice. Can we see that full screen? Bruce, can you see Judd eating full screen? Let me see. That doesn't look that good to me. I'm sorry. That looks like.
No. You're upgrading, buddy. You're getting the pure avocado, Californian, babe. Got to keep it going.
It just doesn't look great to me. Doesn't. I'm just being honest. But I'm not a big taco guy.
It's a street taco brought home. So it's a street taco. It's a COVID taco. You take your COVID street taco home. All right, those are my recommendations. Stay local.
It's a fancy Californiaized upgrade taco, and that's it's like the Democratic Party of California. Everything's got to be like special. So yeah, I got a regular old taco.
So we jumped in, take your street tacos home. Rob's going to talk about his taco later. Let's talk about politics. Buddy, so listen, I'm going to call it here, and we have our guests here. We want to know today's topic is who you're voting for, and we're going to be taking some responses from Reddit, from YouTube, from all of our social media, and then Rob's going to be on the street talking to some people live in Orlando. So that'll be interesting because Florida's an interesting state. So I just want to say that you can't trust the polls, big tech and media. You can't trust Hollywood. You can't trust the academia. You can't trust the media. Who do you trust? And I think what you have to trust is the pulse of America. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make the call. Trump +3. We're going to have an electoral challenge. We're going to have an election challenge. We're going to have some riots regardless of who wins. But Trump's going to bring it home because his ground game is hot.
So, all right. I don't know about that, Judd. I'm on the move here. I'm moving slow for you. I'm moving across America. And as I move across this mall, which is across America, I think you're going to see a trend arise. I hate predicting, and I'll tell you right now, anybody who thinks they can predict this thing, including you, Judd, is lying, because there are so many unknowns right now. If do you trust the polls? Do you trust the polls that show Biden up? I will give you this. Trump has momentum. But here's the deal. Here's the reality of the situation. The fact that Trump's even competitive, forget whether you like him or not. The guy literally got an onslaught for 3.5 years, a nonstop daily media onslaught. It was never ending. My taco just arrived, by the way. I'll bring that up in a little bit. Never ending onslaught. Right? And one thing after another. He not only had the bulk of the media establishment against him, he had most of the apparatus of the government against him. He had the intelligence agencies against him. They literally fabricated a Russian collusion hoax that people out there don't know. It was a hoax. Like, they made the whole thing up. And yet, after all that, he's still viable. COVID hits, destroys the U.S. economy, and Trump's still in the race, which tells you something. But I'm not sure if the combination of all that is just too much, because at the end of the day, Democrats are putting them in a no-win situation. They're like, it's your fault that people are dying, and it's your fault that the economy is not open and moving, which is to keep people from dying. So it's sort of like you can't win. So I don't know. I don't know if he can it's going to be a narrow electoral threat, and Biden wins a popular vote no matter what.
Look, man, I think what you have to do is you have to analyze is what's going on right now. I mean, the Trumps are moving, the polls are moving Trump's ways fast right now. A strong majority of Americans saying they're better off than 4 years ago. The economy is still surging, and the elections are usually about the economy. You know, our neighbors are talking about voting for Trump. There's been a lawn slide out there. I think Trump has a clearer perception of self and country than Biden does. People were disgusted by the riots. They just saw him bring it home in the Middle East. Black and Latinos love him. And, he's generating passion. So it's a different time. It's like when you look at the world economy, it's hard to track because there's so many sources of money moving around. It's kind of that way with democracy, with information now as well.
To me, Judd, you sound like you sound like the pollsters for Trump. Like, I get it. You're in Trump's bed. You're in Trump's camp.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's not that. I'm seeing it on the street.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. And I'm saying the reality is that they have created, if you tell people something long enough and hard enough, they start to hear it. And there's a whole huge portion of this country. The irony, if Joe Biden becomes president, is that it will be the first president in the history that I can think of, certainly in modern history, probably in our history, but certainly in the last 100 years, who was literally elected for being nothing other than not the person in office. I mean, Joe Biden has no singular accomplishments to speak of, except some negative ones like the crime bill. He was not a leader. He was an institution in the Senate who, just as all incumbents in the Senate, stay forever. He represented a small state. He never led. He ran 3 failed bids or 2.5 failed bids for the presidency. He has no charisma. He's like a creepy old guy who can't finish sentences. He yells a lot at the camera and keeps saying, I'll take you out behind the woodshed, and, uses malarkey. I mean, literally the guy represents nothing. Joe Biden could be dead.
He represents a reversal of power. That's it. It's a reversal of power back to the Democratic base to try to figure out their vision. Look, man, I was a lifelong Democrat until 9/11, bro. I was a Al Gore, Michael Moore conspiracy. I mean, I was socialist. I sold everything to move away from it. So I'm a late phase conservative. And I know what the vision is. And the vision is that we care about people. We're going to save the planet. We're going to be part of a globalist community. And it's not the reality of the world right now. And as far as we just got energy independent, this guy wants to crash that. And I think a lot of Americans, this is what just happened in Pennsylvania, right? That Pennsylvania, like their top paper for the first time since 72 came out this morning and said, hey, vote for Trump. Our economy cannot handle a deconstruction of fracking in oil.
But all I'm saying is, you make the rational case. You make the rational case why you think Trump's going to win. And what I'm saying is, I think you're ignoring the fact that there was such a tide of momentum to where a guy who represents nothing could hide in his basement and still be ahead in the polls. Suggests that Trump's chances to win. I'm not saying he can't, but it's a narrow thread through which he has to pick off Wisconsin, Michigan, one Wisconsin or Michigan, probably Pennsylvania.
It's a narrow path. It is. Yeah,
it's a narrow path, And I don't know. I'm not disputing he has momentum. I'm not disputing he brings people out. He goes to rallies and it's freezing cold and there's 20,000 people. Biden goes to a rally and there's like 100 and they beg him to come out. But that's the point, that guy is in front, is how powerful the. Now, here's my thing. I don't like tacos and I don't really like either candidate that much. Although let me show you my taco real quick.
Who doesn't like tacos, by the way?
Look at this. It's all right. This is a kind of a fancy street taco, soft shell.
Well, you're off camera. Move it to the center of the camera. We can see it.
I'm moving it in here. Hold on. I'm trying to get
it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Look at that, baby. See that? See the chicken in there?
And it's see that. So it's street tacos to call. East to West Coast street tacos win.
Really delish. Really delish. When I get my picture taken away, Crafty takes me away when I'm eating. Come on.
But I want to let everybody know. Camera. Rob works out every night at like 11 or 12 at midnight. So no matter what he eats, he's going to look young and tan like he is. So be careful. You can't eat as much as Rob eats.
Right. So here's the thing, though, Judd. Here's my thing. And this is what I want to toss out to you. I don't really like either candidate that much, to be honest. But again, I don't like Trump, but I like Trump in that I want Trump to. I like Trump because Trump represents the disruptor. And I've said before, if Trump wins, it's the only way there's balance. If Joe Biden becomes president, the sort of the left, the extreme left, the left that's the intolerant, kind of cancel everything, the critical race theory left. It just says it's our way or you're a white supremacist. It's our facts. Your facts are irrelevant. Your view, we can shout you down. We can beat you down. We don't have to respect you because you're the oppressor. That side wins, Judd, if Biden's president. Not because that's who he is, because he's a puppet. And if he wins, that force becomes what we've seen the last 2 months is nothing to what we'll see if Biden wins. And that terrifies me. If Trump wins, while I don't love Trump, I love what he'll do for the economy. I love he'll keep disrupting. He'll disrupt. And that will be good for us. And then in 4 years, we can actually put a true, powerful, charismatic, independent in office. That's
listen, this is why. Let's talk about why we're voting and who and why, like we said. And let's go to the street. But look, I'm voting for a couple easy reasons for me. I love the way he supported Israel. I have Jewish kids. I understand the issue of that. I love a bigger, stronger military because I understand foreign policy. I know how serious that is. I understand the economy, so I like supply side theory and deregulation. I understand people that need to be lifted up by a vision instead of coddled and weakened. So I voted for that. I love how he's taking care of the courts in the long term. Trump's done a lot of really good things. I don't give a shit if people don't like him. So what? Principles over personalities, right? So it's like, what are the principles? And that's really what's at stake here. But the media machine is distorting, obfuscating, and censoring. We didn't have a fair election. So let's go out and let's see. Do you see anybody around you while you're eating your taco? And let's ask you who they're voting for.
Here we got some people right here. Hey, you guys, we're doing a live stream. We're doing a live stream. But here, it's all about the election. So who are you voting for?
Oh, Joe Biden, man.
Joe Biden?
Yes, sir.
You're voting for D?
ZD.
Joe
Biden.
Joe Biden, dog. So wait, why are you voting for Biden? I want to know.
I'm voting for more life. Yes, sir. Because Trump, he incentivizes,
Well,
think he's done good things for black people, though?
I think. But the most dangerous thing is he incentivizes or he empowers the racist people, and that's what I don't.
You don't like that.
I don't like.
You
that
think
shit.
he does that, but you don't actually think he's against black people.
I don't think he personally is against black people, but I think his
Right.
words and his rhetoric and his supports.
All right. But you technically would vote for him if it wasn't for that.
If it was for strictly economic policies,
you
I would vote for
So
Trump.
what about Biden? I'm to my point with Biden. Isn't Biden just kind of I'm not Trump?
At this point,
right?
For the
Biden could
social-
kind of be
for the
dead, right?
survival of black people, Trump cannot be in office.
So you'd be a Biden could literally be a stick, and we'd probably vote for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Honest. Thank you guys for sharing. Awesome. So there's some
There you
respect
go.
on the street.
There you go. That is the product of media. Did they tell you one incident where he actually incentivized racism? Did he tell us? It's a generalization. The media has won. It's a generalization. Oh, Trump is bad. Trump is racist. Well, we did this on the show the other day. Just say, okay, well, if I'm racist, you're a pedophile. I used it the other day, right? Now substantiate it. Did they substantiate it? They didn't say anything.
Judd, I don't think you heard what they said. It's fascinating to me. They didn't say they think Trump's a racist. They said They said I don't think he is a racist. They said
he empowers he empowers people who are racist still.
And that is a narrative. No, that's a narrative that certain things he said that people think are dog whistles, which he did, and the media picked up on them and runs with them, and he never goes back and says, I'm not. He says I'm not a racist. He's not a racist.
How many moments has he empowered? How many moments has he empowered? How many moments has he said empowering any individual, regardless of color, can be strong, can be proud? Why are we focusing on a few moments of intimidation?
No, he doesn't do that. No. He throws things out that entice white ring supremacists, and the media jumps on them. And Trump doesn't jump them back.
Biden spoke at a grand
after be specific. I know I'm not. Biden's an old racist too. Trump's actually not a racist. I don't know if politically Trump actually thought he could get traction and didn't want to deter those people, or if he's just a little naive. But when he originally, even after the Charlottesville thing, when they called him out, instead of just going, you know what? I find white supremacists and the Ku Klux Klan disgusting. Let me be really clear. They're disgusting. And I have nothing to do with them. And I wasn't speaking about them. I was talking about people who don't want our monuments torn down. He said, I have condemned them. I have condemned them. Don't say I have condemned them. You just call it out. They're fucking disgusting. They're disgusting human beings. I don't want anything to do with them.
But he said, will you condemn them on paper, a politician who's watching the nation's been trying to steal this guy's legitimacy the whole time. The DOJ, a lot of people walk like. So at any moment, for a politician, forgetting the sensitivity of the individual, he's like, wow, if I throw out any part of any support, there's a lot of people who happen to be into America who happen to not be the best people as well. He's like, I could potentially lose. They put him in a box where he has to say, he says, will you come out against him? And he goes, okay, yeah, I already did. And that's what he left it there. He didn't.
No, see, that's my point. And that's the defense you make for him that I think gets you in trouble. Because again, you don't have an obligation. Let me finish. People. You know what? You don't have an obligation to defend it for me. He doesn't have an obligation to say anything. If you really find them disgusting, don't say I have condemned them. I have condemned them. Just come out and condemn them. Don't make it. The media's already out to get you. No. Judd, I've watched him do it. He dances around it. Instead of if someone asked me, Rob, we think you support white supremacists because you said something about the people tearing down statues. I wouldn't go, no, I've condemned them. Well, will you condemn them? I have condemned them. I'd be like, there's no absolute way in the world I support white supremacists. I find them offensive, disgusting. They go against everything I believe in. I think they're a marginalized, tiny part of this country that the media overrepresents, and they don't reflect my views, and I would not want anything to do with them. And if you're a white supremacist out there, go vote for somebody else. And you say that and you disarm the media. He won't do it. And that's why black people think he's not a racist, but he race baits and he dog whistles them. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but may I say something? And then we'll
go for it, Judd.
I just want to say, straight from the transcript that I'm looking at, can we kill off once and all and the distortion that Donald Trump called white supremacists very fine people? I want to go back to the first time it happened. Yes. Very same comments, people are always quoting. Trump later said, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or the white nationalists. He made it clear that he was talking about people on both sides. Everybody read into the void, and we've never killed that dialogue. And the other day, he has repeatedly denounced white supremacists. Even during Wallace's question, he asked him this. This is the transcript. Wallace asked President Trump whether he was willing to denounce white supremacists and militia groups. And Trump answered, sure, I'm willing to do that. And then he pivoted off. And effectively, he did. So he did say yes, but everyone will say, well, he didn't say it enough. You didn't say it enough. Hey, honey, did you cheat on me? Did you cheat on me? I'm like, no.
You're missing my point. No, you know what? You know what? And that's exactly it, Judd. You hit it on the head. That's a perfect one. And again, then he pivoted off. And that's my point. And if you don't see why that matters, you're missing where Trump fails and fails and fails.
I say the left put him in a box.
No. I'm not the left. I'm an independent. And what you just said is exactly the problem. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Can we move on now? No, that is not a powerful condemnation. Did you cheat on me? No, I said no. No, honey, I would never cheat on you. I love you. I love you. I would never cheat on you. Why would you even think that? There's no other woman I want to be with. That's how you respond to accusations of cheating. No, I said no already. Move on. If you really want to win the person over,
go with me for a second.
If you really want to win the person over, I'm just saying.
This is an important argument. I appreciate your passion.
I got some more people coming, by the way. So
I do. Okay, I appreciate your passion, but I would also say at the end of the day, the more somebody says, "Oh, I'm not a racist," or "Oh, this isn't this," the more that you give something energy, the more that you vilify it, and I think it's so ridiculous that people are just filling the void.
I didn't say you should say.
I'm still voting for this president. Moving on.
I didn't say you should say I'm not a racist.
No.
All right. You know, look, here, let me ask, see if these people will. Let me see if they will. They might not. Random people on the street. How you guys doing? We're doing a live stream talk show about the election. You guys want to chime in on who you're voting for? No? Do you want to say? You don't want to talk about it? Okay, don't say who, but why don't you want to talk about it?
We're not allowed to.
Because you get in trouble?
No, my brother-in-law said you're not supposed to.
Because people will jump on you.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's the times we live in, right? You can't even say who you want to support. Right? Which means you might support Trump because you'd be scared to say that if you support Trump. Because, right, Judd, Trump supporters are afraid to say it. Biden supporters are like, I support Biden. That's a scary thing.
No, that's not true.
Or you support Biden, you're afraid to say it because you're in Orlando.
No, I can say I support Biden.
You can't say you support Trump.
I can say I support
Biden. You get in trouble, right?
I mean, I just can't say who I voted for.
Can you say who you like, though?
Who I like?
Yeah. Are you Trump or Biden?
Oh, that's kind of the same thing that I've been telling
you. Okay, let me just say Trump.
No, you took
Biden. Okay, thanks for sharing. I'm not sure where a vote was. What do you think, Judd?
No, I think it's exactly what's going on. Look, man, today one of my best friends called me up because we're close to the election.
Talk about it.
One of my best friends called me up today and just laid out all these personal attacks. And I said, you know what? Maybe this is about our shadows not wanting to come out in the public versus the actual issue. And I think what we've got America. You know, when you get really angry and then you feel really ashamed because you're in a relationship and you shouldn't act poorly. Right. A lot of people have been acting really poorly for about 2 years. And I think they just want to get the election behind them as well.
Right. But here's the thing. The election ain't going to be behind us.
No, it's going to go.
That's the thing I got to say. This election, first of all, I said it's not the most consequential election ever. And I hate that people say that. It's just like for the last 2 years, every time Trump did anything, it was the most consequential. I'm not picking on Trump here. It was the most consequentially bad thing in the world. The republic was at stake. The Constitution was in jeopardy. The future of American democracy was at stake. I mean, a number of times I heard Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, all those people, and the CNN ram it out over and over again. I was like, the Constitution's fine. The republic's fine. If you don't like Trump, vote him out of office. And once again, it's the most important election in history. It's not. It's one more election. Either way,
really
in 4 years, you can replace that person.
Election. That is such a great point, Rob. It's really not. Look, if you study our durable party back to back, I'm a long-term guy. I was going to go into I was going to work at the ACLU. I was getting my law degree. I think you have your law degree, don't you?
I do. Went to Stanford.
Yeah, you went to Stanford. And that was my route. And the thing I got in pre-law, pre-civil liberties studies, the thing that I got the most was that everything in the long term self-corrects. It's ugly. It takes time. The president works for us. It's going to roll through. What the problem is now, though, we have such huge different opinions of a more socialized America or a less deregulated America. It's that simple. And that's why the stakes are so high, because we have the ability now to really twist away a lot of freedom.
And I would agree with you there, Judd, as sort of my closing thought on that. The only reason I think it is so consequential is this kind of co-opting, in which the social media platforms, most of the media, most of our major institutions, both in government, academic, have all sided and kind of fallen under the wing of this. Well, again, the critical race theory, for people who don't know, it's basically the idea that like the white people are oppressors and we're allowed to do whatever to silence you. So your math, your SAT scores, throw that out. That's white people stuff. Your reasoning, your arguments, throw it out. We're not interested. Just basically do what we say what we say, and put us where we want to be. That mindset, it gets endorsed and carried on. Cancel culture moves forward with Joe Biden. That does scare me. That part does scare me, but it'll still reset itself.
Remember, in the middle of all this, he's the incumbent. It's really difficult. Americans are kind of fixated people, and a president, there's the roles, right? We have parents, police, pastors, we have presidents. We have these main roles, and it's hard for people to actually rotate. And Trump actually didn't do that much wrong. He was just hated. So his policies, he doesn't have the failure of a crashed economy on his shoulder. He's got a good economy with the pandemic, so he's not personally responsible. So I still think it's give us one more person on the road before we end the show, man. By the way, it's good to be back with you, bro.
Want to tell us who you guys are voting for? You keeping it private? Keeping it private. Everyone wants to keep it private. We're doing a live stream about the election. You guys say who you're supporting, or you want to keep it private? You're scared to say. You don't want to say. No one wants to say. You want to say who she doesn't want. You don't want to say, do you? No one wants to say. Isn't that weird?
You're freaking them out. Just say who are you voting for? Can you tell us?
You're right. That's a good idea. Who are you voting for? Can you tell me?
Nobody.
Nobody. Oh, I love that answer. Actually, nobody. Who are you voting for?
No,
you don't know? Are you on the fence, or do you really know?
I don't know. Sir, who are you voting for?
Undecided.
Oh, he's voting for Judd. He's voting for. I actually am on the fence. I might write somebody in, but I won't vote for Biden. I won't vote for Biden because he's a sick. He's sick.
No, listen.
I won't vote for Biden. Oh, so you guys are Biden supporters? Okay, all right, they're Biden supporters.
I'm a Biden supporter.
Hey, ask him why.
Why are you Biden supporters? Why are you Biden supporters? Why are you Biden supporters? Trump is racist. Okay, that's why. There you go. So that's what people think.
Sexist? Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what they say, and it's literally they bought the sort of the mindset.
So you have to choose. You have to choose this selection. You want sexist or creepy? All right. So there's no perfect male out there. I mean, come on. If you want to go down the same line, I could show you. Right. I mean, is Biden a normal individual? I don't think so. My sniff test says that Biden isn't a normal human being.
Biden's creepy in the whole thing, but he's not. Again, it's not a vote for Biden. It's a vote against Trump and
it's a vote against Trump.
Everything Trump stands. It's like I said.
This is interesting today. How was your taco? You doing all right?
Yeah, it was delicious. So I'm kind of going to wind down here. I got a couple more people going by. I'll ask them, but I think you're going to get more.
Let's do one more. One more. This is great, man. The street studio.
Hey, you guys, we're doing a live stream. Who are you supporting, Biden or Trump? Biden. And Biden.
So tell me about Jackson. How about Jacksonville demographic?
We got to wrap it up, Juddy. We're at our time limit, I think.
All right.
I'm surprised I didn't get more Trump people, but I also think Trump people won't say it. I think Trump people won't say it. That's part of it.
I would thoroughly agree with you, man. I mean, look, we don't want to put up our Trump flag at the election night. We don't want to.
They won't say it.
And this is why Trump is going to win, because nobody's telling the truth.
Who are you guys voting for, Biden or Trump? So you're voting for Trump? Oh, we got someone who will say good, because Judd, there you go. You got a person. Judd's conservative. Why? A lot of people Biden. Why are you voting for Trump?
Oh, I just like how the economy was going up greatly.
You like the economy going up? Yeah. Are you worried Biden will bring it down?
No, I just like the way it's going.
You like the way it's going? And you don't think he should have done a better job in the pandemic and all that?
No, I don't think so. It really hasn't affected me.
This might be, Judd, this might be your real average core Trump voter who's just kind of core to the values. Judd's a Trump voter. Just it's like the economy's good. I'm not thinking too hard about it. It makes sense. Stick with it. The Biden voters get all crazy and they're like, it's the end of the world.
Yeah,
Trump voters are just more like, this just makes sense. Let's do it.
Well, and they got to be forgiving people. They can't be judging somebody so harshly or themselves that the president, every aspect of this guy's on trial. They're focusing on the rational outcomes. All right. This is a pretty good poll. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, no, we got interesting people. Getting people off the street.
Did you notice though?
A lot of people don't like to talk about it though.
most of the Biden supporters didn't really have a specific reason. Like you said, they were just not
just
Trump.
Trump's a racist.
When Trump supporters
Trump,
talked about the economy.
Right. Just Trump's a racist. That's it.
I think it's a good little survey, buddy. Now, I just need you to do this like 4,000 more times today, and we'll have an accurate poll.
Right. Exactly. That's just what the polls are, though. That's how they are. They're about that accurate, you know?
This is cool.
All right, buddy. Listen, this was a fun one on the street, right? I want to ask more people. I want to get them all, you know?
Well, let's do this.
I'm like addicted. I'm addicted. It's like a drug.
Let's log off the show, and we'll keep the Reddit stream going.
Crowds coming. It's like, who you guys voting for? Trump or Biden? Private. See, another private. You guys voting for Trump or Biden? Don't know. Is that an honest don't know? You're thinking about it, or you made your mind up? What'll make your decision? You don't know. He doesn't know. That's an honest, undecided vote.
Yeah, that's actually what you're supposed to do up until the election. That's why you don't vote for 2 weeks earlier.
Right.
You know, why don't you get all the information to the very last moment? Because it's an important decision. That's why you don't vote a month and a half before Biden laptop comes out.
Right. Well, the Biden laptop never happened.
Right. No, Russia.
That's all fake news. It's Russian disinformation campaign.
No, seriously, right?
Is anybody really that stupid, Judd? Is anybody really that stupid? They are. No, if they actually believe that everything, it's like, you know, literally they could show pictures of Biden like shaking hands, taking money, and people be like, it's Russian disinformation. It's that bad. It's that bad. It's really that bad.
If I ever get audited, I'm just going to go, oh my God, Russia, right? Russia. Oh, you know,
it's all Russia.
It's all Russia.
It's all Russia.
Hey,
all right.
This is great, though. This is an interesting poll, man. I mean, look, a lot of people are private because we're at such attention.
They are.
My call is going to be is that so many people were private. I'd say the people who are private were probably Trump voters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So then you'd almost be at about 60% Trump if you made private Trump. Most people are ashamed that they like him because he's got such a rough side of his character, but he's been an effective leader.
Nobody's scared to say they're for Biden.
If people vote for Biden and they're happy and they love it, God bless them as Americans. Keep voting. But I'm telling you,
again, this is not the end of the world either way. All right, we got to go, Juddy. This was fun. Me on the street, you in the studio.
Yeah,
talking smack over mac and cheese. But today, our food of choice was tacos.
Tacos. Let us know what you think about the show name. We're going to stay with mac and cheese, but we're doing it over a different food each week.
Different food every time.
And I love America. Rob, take us home. We'll see you guys. Follow us.
All right, everybody. Follow Judd. Follow Judd.
Yeah, thank you.
Follow Judd at Bullet Point Nation. Follow me at Rob Nelson Live. Watch our stuff. Share our stuff. Be part of our dialogue, part of our conversation. We're trying to actually get a different voice out there, one that's not so one narrative or the other, and really brings in the real voices of the people and some diversity of thought. We go at it. You can come at it with us. You know, that's what our platform's all about. We want to build a new conversation, a new dialogue. I want you all to be part of it. See you next week.
See you next week.